And I went jumping through my closet to see all the suits I never wear, and I have literally like a white undershirt, black, not tuxedo, but like a black dress suit, and like pretty much the whole getup to look like a devil hunter or a, public safety divisions, whatever, this and that. So whenever I go to a convention, I'm totally wearing just like the full black white suit, thin black tie, and a like just Nike sneakers with it. Again, like I want all of my outfits in the future because like I wanna grow. Like my goal for 2025 is to do all of these like artsy creative projects. Like I'm gonna be publishing my book. I'm just kind of waiting for my beta readers / editor to read it and whatnot, and that's like a slow process and whatnot because I just have like close friends doing it, so I have to like work around their work schedules and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I can't expect them to drop like everything they're doing to read 280 pages on a Google Doc and leave comments every 5 seconds. But I want to grow a following. Like I literally want to be on like Instagram and Reddit as I'm gonna die. Let's rest before I rant or I get killed by a mimic tear. I want to grow a following that is significant enough on like Instagram and Reddit is like my primaries, just for all sorts of creative content.
Yeah. Like
cosplay, writing. I need to do more writing, in fact. Film myself doing like cooking, not video tutorials, but just like, well produced, well made, well edited. Like, here's what I made today kind of meals, because cooking's become like a pseudo passion of mine. And like, I don't have a goal, right? I'd be happy with a couple thousand followers. I'd be happy with more, but I want like an audience, like people who are like genuinely excited, even if it's like a small handful. Kind of like with the Swag Academy group, where it's like there is at least like 40 or 50 people that genuinely around the world get excited when they see our live stream, like once every 2 months. Like I want that for myself in like my field. So I want it to be like a little bit of cosplay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and slowly figuring that out.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just rambling about everything.
No. I'm the same though. Like, for this year especially, because like I finally reached the stage of my career at the moment. For I'm gonna say for the next year, it's gonna be like this, where my work is so like not necessarily automated, but it's so like we've got to a point where I can like go into the office, press a couple buttons, everything does itself, and then I can go home. And I've been feeling this massive like, okay, for the last year I've been going to work, coming home, going to sleep. What else do I do? And even my work colleagues have gone to a point, and my boss has even been like, have you tried picking up a hobby? And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, why not? And the problem is, like, a lot of the hobbies here are don't get me wrong, I do some outdoor activities, but it's like, I like, what you were just saying, like doing something a bit more artistic, a bit more creative, and I could do more Blender work, and that's fine, but the problem I have with that is it takes up, essentially if I have to do like a Blender scene, to render like a frame, depending on what quality I'm doing the frame on, it might take me 6 hours to render that frame. And then it's like, okay, well, my free day is kind of over. The only next thing I can do is watch TV, because I can't use my computer while that's happening. So it's like really just about figuring out how to do something that I can. Well, this is kind of why I'm streaming, is that my Fridays are usually just me having fun playing video games. There's funny moments that I never get to capture, and so the whole point is just to be like, hey, like it's no harm, like the last 3 streams I've had probably, besides Tim and Jack, I probably had like 0 viewers, and that doesn't bother me at all, because at the end of the day, this is just like, I'm doing what I would usually do on a Friday, or Thursday or whatever, and it just so happens now that I've slapped a camera on it. It's
exactly
essentially what it is. So it's like a win-win situation for me.
And that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Starfists are such a broken weapon. Reshotted this enemy. But no, I mean, you get it. Yeah. That's the whole concept and desire. I'm just like, I would literally like, I probably would just be on the countertop right now doing my work project had I not cut the templates wrong Because like nowhere on this man's template sheet did it say like, okay, you need to print two, you need to cut two of these. Like I had to figure that out myself from his tutorial video, and then like lo and behold, I forgot to flip them, like literally rotate them for the left and right side, because I was so focused on putting Scotch tape on it to label like what was the front side and what was like the number, so that when I started gluing I didn't mess it up. Because he was like, that's something I've done before, where if you don't label the front, like it looks so similar, like you're gonna glue the front to the back and you're gonna have a dome that has like a protruding part, like a unicorn horn, and it wouldn't look right. And
yeah,
I didn't do that. I had a bigger problem. I wasted half my foam. Might as well burnt $5.
Yeah.
Well, if anything, it's not a big deal because I have to find ways to cope, right? So the left side, or the duplicate right side that I have of the Elite Knight armor dome, is now my practice Dremel like set. So I'll literally take my Dremel tool and like, you know, blend out edges and basically use the foam for like a piece that I can clearly tell what shape it's supposed to be, and use the Dremel for, you know, sanding down like, oh, this is how low grit looks, this is how a high grit wheel looks, or just experiment with it, you know, learn texturing before I start plasti dip sealing and painting the thing.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, like, it's pretty egregious how much I'm willing to spend on this, because like I'm learning a ton while doing it, but like I'm probably going to drop over 1,000 to 1,500 USD by the time I'm done with it. But that's everything. That's like materials, tool one-time purchases, well, I mean, yeah, a lot of paint, a lot of other material, supplementary stuff. Like I bought leather gloves, which in fact are probably outside my door right now, like medieval leather gloves that I can work into like Ren Fair outfits and other things and whatnot. So I'm doing a running total though. Like I'll be able to tell you all exactly how much I spent on it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds really good. I was just like thinking to myself, it's like, yeah, like Renaissance fairs are a really funny concept to me. Not because I think they're goofy in any way. I would definitely be at one of those if they were nearby. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah. It's just like, because I think as like a kid, when I was growing up here, I would see all of this in like TV shows and stuff. So I thought like it didn't exist.
No, it's
like,
it's very real.
Yeah. So like things like conventions and stuff, I was like, oh, that's like a TV show thing or like Hollywood thing. It's like, no, these things happen everywhere, but in this region. So I was like, oh. So, like, I actually want to do this, but I'm in the worst place in the world to do it. So, I did 1 year. I said to my parents, I was like, look, I don't care how much it costs. I want to do a Lich King from World of Warcraft cosplay. And my parents were actually kind of like, my parents have always been these type of people. If I'm getting out of my room, they're like, hell yeah, let's do it kind of people. So they're like, yeah, let's do it. And then we like looked at the costs and things like that, and we were gonna get like that you could get the sword essentially designed for you in a company in France that would do like any metal. What do you call it? I think of the word now. What's
Metallurgy?
Metallurgy. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And it would just essentially like make you an actual metallic sword for you to use that's based on your designs or whatever design you want. But then like my dad like made the good point. He's like, okay, where are you going to go in conventions? Because like this entire, like if we were to put this all together, like the suit size and stuff, like you're not going to be able to ship this or put in your luggage or whatever, and you're not going to be able to. And I was like, yeah, actually you make a good point there. Like there's nowhere to go with this. So I mean, I think if I move back to the UK, I would be definitely doing it more often. So I think the whole point now is just to save as much money as possible and then start working on it.
Yeah. It's just exciting and fun. Like, I'll tell you right now, I mean, especially if you're trying to travel with stuff, just EVA foam is like the magic trick for all things cosplay. It's quite literally just how good you are at painting and how many layers you put on that can make something as simple as like a foam block you do yoga on, or EVA foam's not meant for yoga, but it's effectively it feels the same as like a yoga mat.
Yeah.
Turning that into like a shiny sword or a shiny rusted sword, or like I'm literally using EVA foam for the leather. Like if you look at the gecko statue in the general chat, the leather bracer on the right hand, because that's like the sword swinging hand, and the left hand's like the silver shield hand. All of it's made out of foam. It's just paint. Like I'm gonna paint one side to look like leather, and the other side will look like metal. you know, just for the coloring, right? But the foam itself is fairly inexpensive, depending on, you know, what quality you buy, I guess. Like it's, you know, depending on the yardage or the length, it's like $10, $15, 20 per roll. And that's not even that bad. It's just, again, like how well you use it, how well you cut it. And I'm learning this all from the ground up. I've spent a month just on YouTube taking notes and scouring for information.
Yeah.
Because like it's crazy to think that, like, you know, as popular as like Dark Souls and From Software are, franchise and company wise, like there's only like a couple like prominent cosplayers online that have done like these outfits. Like I could send you their links and whatnot. It's Sunlight of Astora, Talon Crusade, and like a couple others. One's based in the US, another guy's based in somewhere in Europe. But like they're the people that, like, if you see the memes online of like a dude skateboarding in like a Bloodborne outfit or this and that, it's like the same like 5 guys always in these memes and whatnot. And I'm like, I want to be one of them. You know,
which has always made me laugh, because all the Dark Souls armor is based off just like European armor you can find in any, like, if you go to any sort of what do you call them in the US? Like, it's not a second-hand store, but like a thrift shop.
Thrift shop, yeah.
Thrift shop, yeah, like a thrift shop, yeah.
Charity shop.
Charity shop, yeah. Like you can find pieces of armor that will match very similar, or at least like are so close to the point that you can just like slightly modify it to get it to look like a Dark Souls armor. And yet nobody, I've seen people do like Overwatch cosplays where they build it from like ground up, 3D printed every element of it, and and you're like, Dark Souls should be one of the easiest things to kind of like cosplay as. Yeah,
absolutely.
There's not that many people doing it.
I think the difference there, at least in terms of like the Elite Knight helmet, because I can rant about this all day, like, is just the shaping on it, because it's got that prominent point out front, and then like the way the helmet sits and whatnot. Like everything else, like, yeah, if I really wanted to just kind of not just DIY it, because I want to make it look one-to-one with that gecko statue. That's like my reference. Like I want to look as close to that as possible. So it's not just like I'm really tall and I'm in a cosplay, but it's like I also, like, I want to win a cosplay contest. That's like the short goal I'm working with. But like, I lost my point. I lost my point in saying that. You can do the outfit, but it's not going to look exactly the same. But yeah, you go on any store in the US and they literally have like, oh, just buy $100 Knight's helmet that, you know, works effectively. As it would have back then, just with like updated technology.
But just imagine trying to do like the Ornstein like gear for cosplay. That would be a fucking nightmare.
It's all just foam work. I mean, seriously, some of the people that I've been like researching under, as in YouTube channel watching and scouring, it's all just foam work. It's foam work and knowing how to paint. Yeah. It's crazy too, because the cosplay community, at least in my experience, which I haven't interacted with anybody beyond a computer, like, is so open and friendly. I have found a resource for every question and problem that I've had. Like, I was trying to figure out, without contacting the dude who had the Elite Knight armor templates, just to ask him directly, because I'm like, that just seems like a waste of time. Like, I literally found somebody else's YouTube channel who had like a 45, or not even a 45 degree, an all degrees like bevel, outward bevel and undercut guide, like in a PDF file. Like online, that had a guide of like, if you take a stick like this, draw this and do that, you can literally paint, like, do references that you can attach to a ruler. Like, he had a whole tutorial for how to build a tool to help you cut things better, which was like, took me 2 seconds to find. Yeah, like, online.
And I've seen like footage of those guys who build those massive armors. Like, I've seen people like dressed as Reinhardt, like with the full mech, kind of like mecha suit system. And you're thinking like, damn, that must be heavy. But then you realize, and it is heavy, but it's all just like styrofoam essentially, or like, it's foam in general, and it's just been painted so well it looks like a metallic surface.
Yeah, it's not just the Dark Souls cosplay I want to do. I made a list. I would love to do. I think my next idea, because I want to buy a lightsaber, like a really, really good one, like a NeoPixel. Yeah. Do you know if I say the word NeoPixel, are you like in the lightsaber buying community? Like, you know the difference between like an RGB versus a NeoPixel?
I am aware of like, NeoPixel's familiar, but I am aware like there are like what I would say professional like lightsabers. Yeah.
So let's say you go to like Disney World, like you're in the US and you go to Disney World, Disneyland, I forget which one which. I think Disneyland's in California and Disney World's in Florida. You go there and you pay like $40 USD for a lightsaber. You get one that's got like the plastic tube and the end cap that's like, oh, this is Luke's or this is Ahsoka's or whatever. And it's like, it works. You turn off your light in the room, it looks good, but it's not bright. Like, you can tell it's clearly like kind of a toy off the shelf and whatnot. Then you get into the range of like people that do. This is again my experience. I don't build lightsabers, and I've never bought one myself. But then you get the people that do the RGB ones, which are more like, okay, you pay $120. You can get one that's like maybe custom. Yeah. The lighting's a little bit better. The circuit board's nice. You know, you hit it against stuff, it makes noise and whatnot. But the NeoPixel. Anything. NeoPixel is at least the coin phrase that I look for, where it's like double that price. You're looking at like $200 minimum, right? Like that's the one I'm probably going to buy on sale during like a holiday sale, like a $200 very basic lightsaber and whatnot. But the circuit board, a NeoPixel circuit board, is the one that literally customized to any color, super bright. I'm talking like, you know, it looks one-to-one, like you would see in like a film and whatnot. And it's got, depending on what you pay for, like if you hit it at a certain part, it'll light up white. So like it has the cross saber technology, or you know, when you swing it, it does the sound effects, because it's got like the same thing like a controller would, where like you're a phone where you turn it at a certain angle. I forget what that technology is called, but it has stuff like that built into it. So I'm just gonna take that, put a little bit of foam work that I'm doing with the cosplay, build my own lightsaber that's like part metal, part just spray painted foam, and then I'm gonna buy like really nice Jedi robes, just grow out my beard a little bit more and just be like my own. Or well, no, I don't even want to do that. Like, I'm so weirdly stuck up on the idea of just cosplaying OC characters in universes I really like. I want to do like an Old Republic, like Jedi battle armor, almost like not clone trooper battle armor, but you know what I'm talking about, Old Republic era, where it's like you get the Jedi that have like the white armor on their robes, like they have the battle robes. Like I want to do that. I'd be like, oh, I'm a Jedi Knight from this era. Or I take that same armor, spray paint it black, and get like the giant, you know, Bosk rifle out of foam, and just be like an OC bounty hunter. You know, that's not a fucking Mandalorian. Because oh my god, like if I had to put a Horcrux of immortality upon like a certain thing existing in the world, it would be like Deadpool cosplayers and like Mandalorian cosplayers. As long as there's one left in the world, you're immortal. Like you'd live forever.
To be fair, there were a lot of Deadpool cosplayers at Dragon Con when we went in.
Yeah, I mean,
there were a lot of them.
I'm not saying that's bad. It's just, it's always funny. Like, I want to be the one, like, Bloodborne hunter, Yarnum hunter at the convention. I don't want to be, like, the 40th Spider-Man, you know? Yeah. Unless it's, like, funny. Like it's a comedic
Timmy,
cosplayer.
You're going to say something, Tim?
I was gonna say, a lot of people feel like Deadpool is, because of the way the character acts, feel like it's a license to do whatever you want as well.
That too.
They didn't help themselves in the last.
A lot of people feel like that.
Yeah, it didn't help in the last film as well, where the end of the last film, where it's just like 1,000 Deadpools with different different. It's one of his character things. It's like you can essentially slap it onto anything, and then as long as you got the color scheme right and the suit, you're pretty much set.
Yeah, I think Deadpool verse.
Yeah, it's Spider-Man and Deadpool where it's like more acceptable, because you have that, like, at least in the film franchises, like you have that multiversal excuse. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it's like I could say the same thing about Jinx from League of Legends, after Arcane aired, where it's like every single girl I see on Instagram, when like the algorithm feeds me like just cosplay content, it's always a Jinx cosplay every time. It's like great character, it's cool, but it's just like,
what's funny is I learned all my 3D animation skills, like how to like move character, body parts, and stuff like that through a Jinx model, because it was just the most optimized. Like that's why I find funny about like 3D rendering or 3D like Blender in general, is that like once in a while you'll get somebody who just releases like a Pixar level ready model for free on the internet, and just goes like go nuts, and then you just use that to like train yourself how to do like animations, and like it's pretty funny seeing such a high quality model do such a shitty animation. I mean, you can't, but it sticks out like a sore thumb now, and you go, okay, this is what I need to do to like improve. Like it'll be as simple as like the eyes are moving too quickly. I need to like cut the frame before then where the eye needs to be moving in a. I always like use the rule of eyes in Blender, like you have to have a free eye position, so the eye, if you want the eye staying still, but it has to be somewhat moving, because eyes are constantly moving no matter what, like you do have triangle motion, so the human eye will go like up, down, side, up, down to the side. No matter like even if you were like staring at something perfectly still, your eyes will be doing that motion. And like that's like one of the like with animation, it's just a lot of tricks, where even like arm movement is like if you're being sarcastic, you're gonna be moving your shoulders a lot. So like match that shoulder movement to like what the person is saying or something like that. If they are trying to do something very active, you're gonna be using your shoulders. But if it's something very slight when talking, you don't really use your shoulders for talking. So when the character's talking properly, like in a conversation, don't move the shoulders. It's like all these like tiny little details you'll never get unless you're playing around with an actual like Pixar level quality like character, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's those communities, like, yeah, I know what you mean about the cosplay community. Same with like the Blender community. You could like upload to the Blender Reddit like the shittiest animation you've ever seen, and somebody in the comment section will be like, all right, let me tell you how to, like, it's good, but let me tell you how to improve. No hate, just let me get you better, essentially.
Yeah, and I love that, honestly. So, I mean, the year's starting off strong. January, doing all these art projects and stuff. Like, I'm literally calling it just keep spending January, because I think I've bought like crafting crafting materials every single day this year.
Yeah.
Like it's actually insane. But I did want to hit the New Year running. Like, and I'm not one of those people that does like New Year's resolutions for like 2 weeks and then gives up. So like this year I made a lot of goals, so I'm like trying to meet all of them. It's just one of those, like, why would I spend like $30 here or $30 here when I could just drop 150 and then like have it?
Yeah. I think that's like, as well as like as the year ends, people get more concerned about like the things that are going on, and I tend to like try to remind people is like at the end of the day, you are like the priority for you is you and what you love, and you should be focusing on that like as your priority, like, because at the end of the day, if you're not doing that, then you're never going to be happy. So and people, not a lot of people, but some people in the world will think of the bigger picture, and that's fine if they want to think about the bigger picture, but that's not a key to happiness, because if you are thinking about the bigger picture, you are going to be miserable. And so there's nothing wrong with people being like, I want to spend this much money on like this cosplay, or on this video game, or on this like thing I'm working on, or anything like that. Like, that is like a really healthy thing to do, like just to like keep you entertained, keep you busy, keep you like give you something to work on, a passion project. Like even there's
the meaning of life somewhere in there.
Yeah, like even my boss, who's like the most corporate guy I've ever met, is still like, if you're coming to work miserable and like you don't have like thoughts about like what, like, he's like, I'm paying you good money and you're not spending the money on anything, then it's like, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to spend the money? Like, he's almost like, I'm paying you good money, what's the point if you're not going to spend it? And I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough, sure. So even he was like, I was like, I might be going back to streaming again, and he's like, do it. But yeah, why not? Who cares? Like, just do it. Like, if you think it's cool and fun or whatever, do it. And I'm like, okay. So I agree with you. It's been a start for me, at least. It's been a good start for the year.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you on all that. I mean, that is literally the meaning of life. It's not just like, oh, work for 8 to 12 hours a day, or less or more, depending, right? And then come home, have like 2 or 3 hours to yourself after you've done like doing your chores and cooking and cleaning, and then right back to it, and whatnot. Like, there has to be something more than that. But I think I've just become so exhausted from like the 24-hour news cycle, especially with like presidency and all of that in the States. So like I'm mentally checking the fuck out.
Yeah, just check out. Yeah, just check. It's
like
this way.
Like I don't want to be one of those people. It's like 2025 is going to be my year, and then it's like people who said that in 2020, or it's like I'm just willing to
Yeah, I was gonna say enough people said that in 2020, 2021, 2022, and then I think they realized that like it's your year when you know it's your year. Like don't make promises early.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've already accepted I had my year. That was 2018 for me, and like I've just accepted that it will never get as good. So I can only hope that it can get to like nearly that level. But I don't have high hopes. But in the same way, I'm just happy. I'm just a grateful person in general. So I just like, even if it's a bad year, I just always remember or try to remember like the good parts, you know, of that year. I mean, 2024 highlight, you know, is meeting you as well, like meeting you guys. Like that was a highlight for sure.
Well, I mean, I this isn't doxing. I always make that joke. Shelby and I, girlfriend and I, are going to London in July because my brother, who's studying at the University of Edinburgh right now, we're going to his graduation in July. And we're making like a whole week-long vacation out of it. So I'll be in Edinburgh for like 3 or 4 days around then, and then her and I are making a trip to London. And I'm actually meeting up with Max, or at least should be. I haven't taled to him about it in great detail yet. I mean, it's months away, but we're gonna plan something around it where, you know, he's just gonna take a train in, and we're all gonna hang out one day. So
that'd be good.
I'm excited. That should be one of my goals. One of my goals is like socializing and reaching out more to people, which I'm kind of, I guess, doing by hanging out with you all. But maybe this, I'm like working myself up into this conversation. Like maybe we should do the thing, like get a Deep Rock group going or something where like every Friday, if you're streaming, like we can do like a community video game stuff or something. It doesn't have to be like Swag Academy related. Like Fridays at like 8 p.m. EST, I'm watching a TV show with my girlfriend. We're watching RuPaul's Drag Race season 17, which is pretty entertaining for us. So I've got that going on, but otherwise, like I'm free and available, and I would love to put something else in my schedule that isn't just D&D with my college friends.
That sounds good. Tim, do you have
also
Deep Rock Galaxy?
We do not.
Thing is, here's the problem. I know this sounds like such a this is the literal definition of the DJ Khaled like struggling from success, where I have found myself in such a really such a good position in life, but to a point where I don't know if it's like because I'm too I joke on the chat about me being like a capitalist moneymaker or whatever, but like I'm not a big spender. I don't like spending money, and so I'm in a really good position right now financially and everything. So I'm like, it doesn't bother me to like help people out or like, for example, like buy Tim a game or something like that. It's just so annoying that like I happen to be like my currency that I use for my Steam library isn't correlated to the euro that Tim uses. So I'm like, oh yeah, Tim, I'll buy you Deep Rock Galactic, easy peasy. I'll just get it to you like as a gift or whatever. But I literally cannot do it on the Steam because it won't let me. It makes me so ass mad because I would have Tim play like so many different games with me.
I don't suppose it's possible to change either my or your location for that. It might be difficult.
The only way I can do it, but it might become a problem, is I can put money into my account already, then switch to a UK account and then transfer it that way. Because if I were to do it and try to use my card, I think there might be either I get charged a currency exchange tax, or I won't accept it because it needs a UK address. But we can see in the future. But I'd definitely be down for Deep Rock Galactic stuff because I haven't played the new season and I want to play it.
I'm gonna say I only say Deep Rock because like that was something that I know Cody, myself, and a couple others tried doing a while ago. But I say a while ago is in literally years because that was when my computer was having problems with thermal paste. Like my CPU thermal paste had just completely dried up because the people who built my computer as a pre-build didn't know that there wasn't enough thermal paste on it, which is crazy because you asked me that back then, I couldn't even tell you what thermal paste was.
Well,
because I wasn't.
My schedule at the moment, I'm planning, and I'm going to put on the chat at some point. I'm probably putting in announcements. Is that like I haven't had a like not since probably last February. I haven't had, so about a year ago, I haven't had like a holiday where I've like been able to do what, like, as in like last couple of vacations. So all my last year, all my vacation was spent on going to Kentucky, and then straight after that I had to go to France, and then to see my family and my sister's boyfriend and all that. And then the second last was Japan, but that was to go see my girlfriend at the time. And so, don't get me wrong, love going to Japan by, like, for myself, but like it was always for other people. So for a year, it's gonna be the first time I have like a vacation for myself when I don't do anything, which is gonna be the 2nd of February where it starts. And so I'm gonna have 2 weeks where I'm gonna be literally like have all the free time in the world and any time of the night or day. So I was gonna put in the chat like, let's do, like, we should do a gaming night or something where I can actually stay up for the American time zones and all sorts, like just sort of become more free, because like the biggest problem is obviously when I go to bed everybody wakes up.
Yeah,
I mean, afternoons are not too bad because like it's weird because I wake up early, and what I mean by that is I know in the US most like jobs start at like 9 o'clock, I want to say.
yeah, it's 9 to 5 EST.
Yeah,
like the
and
average hours.
So here we do 5 till 3. So I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, so 9 o'clock sounds late for me in the afternoon. So when I message people in the US and they're like, yo, it's 8 o'clock, and I'm like, yeah, and like what's the problem?
Fucking bedtime.
Yeah. But no, I'd be definitely down to do stuff.
Yeah.
But the way I've worked around the whole budget thing though is that I'm working on a big project for Swag. That's probably gonna be our longest video ever, and essentially any like finances that the Swag team want or need, I just like go, all right, ask Swag for that money from my paycheck because I don't need it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I need to do more script writing. I mean, I have a script already that I need to get done before the 20th. Although I'm kind of waiting. It's the Facebook meta going full right. So I'm just waiting to see if any more information comes out of that, because that's like a obviously developing story.
Yeah.
But
Mark Zuckerberg
I gotta
becoming
go.
like a Joe Rogan head, like jiu-jitsu type of guy is like not what I was expecting, but fair enough.
he looks like, I saw the meme on Reddit the other day. You might have seen this. He looks like the Decatur's Woe, or whatever you call it, from Elden Ring. Like that one ring that like doubles your damage.
Yeah,
He looks exactly like that. All right. I'm gonna say this right now. I don't know what all of you guys look like in person, but I'm saying this to the whole news team. You can put me on record for this. If any of you all have like that perm that like the kids have, that's like the ramen cut, which is like the hair on the top like that, like what Mark Zuckerberg has right now, y'all need to like stop.
You just like
get some help.
What they've done is just like slice someone's like curly hair naturally and just put it in a square shape and then have it slapped on the top of the head. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's the Sid from Ice Age meme, like where it's like, oh my god, he's so gorgeous. And it's just a pic of Sid from Ice Age. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like not a hot take. Like I don't actually care what you guys have for haircuts or anybody listening, but that haircut, not one of my favorites. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I'll be BRB just grabbing another drink.
There you go. I should probably drink more today. I'm gonna cook some food later. I'll assume since you're muted that you're talking on the phone or something. I will sit idly. There's a fucking dragon in this cave.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Ooh, hoo hoo. What am I going to play at the moment? At least at this time of night, we could play. I'm trying to think of something that is. I could play some PUBG, I guess. Just easy stuff. Reviews.
Real classic.
Yeah. Wait, a 30 gigabyte update? I don't think I have room for that.
Well, start deleting now.
I was gonna say, like, a game that came out, like, years ago now has a 30 gigabyte update.
Gotta keep up with the Fortnite somehow.
Yeah. I was like, I should play some Dark Souls 3. And then I was like, actually, no, because I'll be here until morning playing that.
Yeah. My next, like, challenge run that I'm trying to do for myself, even though I'm doing the randomizer Elden Ring run right now for fun, is just a permadeath in Dark Souls 1. Like, just beat it without ever dying. Bed of Chaos is absolutely a, a gatekeeper for that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. There's strats for her. Like, because I eventually want to do, again, if I had a PS5 and I had Demon Souls Remake, I would love to do, like, have you heard of the God Run? Do you know what that is? If I say that?
God Run. For Demon Souls?
No. So there's a streamer known as the Happy Hob who I'm a regular viewer of him. Like, I love watching his content. That years ago was, I think, one of the first people to do like a no-hit run in like Dark Souls and those games, where it's, besides environmental damage and fall damage, it is like getting touched by an enemy ends your run. And it's basically beating the game, not just no damage, but like no death, no hit, no nothing. And he did a thing where he beat all of the games, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and Demon Souls, all consecutively without getting hit. And I want to work up to that goal one day. So I'm starting with permadeath of like just beat the game without dying, because that's already pretty impressive, to eventually doing no-hit runs consecutively, which is beat all of the games without getting hit. And where all those challenge runners are at right now, which you can watch regularly on Twitch, they're all doing like SL1 no-hit runs consecutively. Like the God Run 3 is being ran by a German fellow by the name of Dino. I can't pronounce the rest of his username because it's German. It's like Dino Singlesdale, like something. He is literally on the God Run 3 SL1, which is Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Sekiro, and Elden Ring, no hit without leveling anything at all. And he got 6 out of the 7 games in and died in Sekiro twice as the last game. But he's beaten all of them, like, he's beaten all of them individually, just not consecutively. He got, like, 88% of the way done.
Damn.
And, like, almost had it. So it's really entertaining watching him do stuff.
That's...
Because he streams every day.
And then I feel bad for, like, trying to do a stamina run, like, stamina-only run on Dark Souls 1, and it's just the most hellish thing I've ever done in my life.
I mean, it teaches you the roll mechanics, though, for sure. Like, I love doing level 1 challenges, because it's effectively just that, with, like, less resources.
Yeah. The biggest problem is just, like, just using that club, and I can upgrade it as much as I can. It's just that, like, I've recently got to the, what is it called? The dragon, in Dark Souls 1, and before you get to, Blighttown. The one with the gaping... stomach of
the gaping dragon.
Is it a gaping dragon? Yeah.
Your spot.
Yeah, gaping dragon. I'm just trying to do now. It's an easy boss fight in general, but like I do 0 damage to it. So I'm just gonna be there for like an hour, just hitting its legs, trying to not get stomped.
Invest in lightning resin. That'll probably help you more than you think, or more than you know.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, then I'm just thinking now, going through Blighttown now, and I'm like, all my terrible memories of Blighttown have come back to haunt me.
Next time we all stream like this, because I want to make this a regular thing. Like, I'm saying that out loud now just because, like, last night, I think when you guys were watching the shuttle launch stream, like, I was busy. I was running around doing chores, and I was, like, buying the foam to do the stuff you saw. Lino armor. Hold on. die here. I was like doing crafts and work, and today I was just like on the computer because I quite literally have to wait until Amazon ships me my foam to continue doing my project. Blah blah blah. I don't know. I want to make this a regular thing. Like I should probably make more of an attempt to just like jump in the VC and like just add everyone. Be like, who's available to hang out?
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna make more of an effort to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always been up for it. Obviously, time zones is a big problem, but like there are ways to make it work, especially on weekends. Like we at least share one day in a weekend.
Yeah, I also want to say that like with my job, aka trying to do writing for my computer Lamau, like I can just be up whenever, right? Like hours wise. So like if I end up staying up like really stupid late one day, or wake up really early, like you and I can hang out at least, just knowing the time zone you're on.
Yeah.
So it's workable, all these things. So
yeah,
it
definitely.
just depends.